And so if you call it suffering, we're doing our best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gahn. Anyone else wish to address the authority? Remember to state your name.
Hello everyone, my name is Stan Smith. I was asked by Jerry O'Halloran to attend a city council meeting. I'd like to clarify, since I was there, I was asked to speak on aviation and airport issues. There were 3 individuals there, myself, Rob Hansick, and Jerry O'Halloran. We spoke briefly. We were there to impart some of the 150 plus years of aviation and airport knowledge so that a good decision could be made. And that was all we were there for. There was never any mention of eminent domain. For holding companies hostage, which came up at the last board meeting here, while maybe a little inflammatory, I believe that good communication between the legislature, the city council, the board of county commissioners here in the county, with good communication, we can have a great working relationship. And I think that the people of Charlotte County have an excellent jewel here in the airport, and a goose that is laying golden eggs right now. If we keep those communication lines open, I think we'll have a much better relationship. There's always room for improvement. Thank you.
Hi, Pat Niles, Gateway Point, over in Punta Gorda. Sorry I'm a little late. I got lost in this big airport. The last time when I took a flight from here, it was when I came in back in the 1970s, and my parents picked me up, and I was going to say a Cessna, but since Piper Road's out here, maybe it was a Piper that dropped me off from Fort Myers. So things have certainly changed out here. So I got lost. And I'm also confused about this. That's why I've come here this morning. With regard to, and I see some familiar faces here that I've seen recently, about the airport noise. And this is kind of a quick thing. I'm just trying to catch up with all the rest of you. And I'm asking, as a resident here, a voting resident, because I'm trying to understand better the process, that there has been a revised contract. I'm trying my best to keep up with all of you. And is there a way for a resident to get a chance to see a copy of this revised contract that is, as I understand it, between the developer and anyone who's going to be new? And it had to do something also with the easement and a new buyer and who knows what and everything else. So I got to admit, I'm curious. So is there any way, or who could I see? I know you probably don't give comments to somebody asking a question, so I'll just stay here after the meeting and come up, and then if any of you can give me a good direction of where I can get a copy, I'd just like to see it, to see how is that tied in with that easement, and was that put in that new revised control contract. Thank you very much.
Good. The next item on the agenda is compatible land use, and this may shed some light on some of the folks here in the audience. Mr. Taylor, who has a noise concern, I told him I would grant him some couple of minutes after the presentation on compatible land use, because there could be some facts in there that may answer some of his questions. So along with that, I'll turn this over to Mr. Parrish to have Mr.
Going to happen
Gersh.
every 2 minutes?
Huh?
Is that going to happen every 2 minutes?
No, well, maybe for you, I'll get it down to a minute.
Oh, I don't want to talk at all. So when the board requested this workshop on compatible land use, I thought the one person I know who deals with land use issues all over the United States and is an airport expert is my friend and our attorney on FAA matters, Mr. Peter Kirsch. So I asked him if he could be present by video to give us a little update on land use issues. And Peter, I see you.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here, and I'll let you take over. Just give your 30,000-foot view of land use and what current issues are and what we should be doing.
Sure. Let me give you sort of, if you will, a very quick introduction and then throw it open to questions that may be more specific to the situation at Punta Gorda. The federal regulation of airport land use was pretty well established for many, many years until the FAA Reauthorization Act of 2018. That statute significantly curtailed FAA regulation of airport land use in a way that in many respects fundamentally changes the calculus for airport sponsors to look at land use decisions. And here is what it did. Previously, the FAA regulated any land use that appeared on the airport layout plan, and airports were required by law to both depict all of airport land on the airport layout plan and to subject all that land to federal regulation. The law changed, and I'm not going to go into the intricate details of it, but essentially what it said is that FAA's jurisdiction to regulate airport land use is limited in certain respects. It's limited to property that was purchased with AIP funds, to property that was donated by the federal government after World War II under the Surplus Property Act, or property whose use significantly affects the safety and efficiency of the airport. That latter condition has been informally and incorrectly referred to as just aeronautical land. Because in fact, some aeronautical land affects airport operations, and some non-aeronautical does as well. But the distinction is important, because what this means is that so long as an airport receives fair market value in rent or in sale of property, if that property does not significantly affect the aeronautical function of the airport, it can move forward with transactions without FAA approval. The obligation to maintain the airport layout plan remains, that is, airports must always keep that up to date, but the level of federal engagement has reduced significantly. Needless to say, the change in law has affected a great deal about how airports look at land use in and around their airport and the ability to generate revenue. Now, it's important to recognize that traditional areas of airport-related land use remain subject to considerable FAA regulation, including issues such as lease rates and charges to which you charge users, the term of leases and things like that.